Welcome back to Learn Responsive Design on Codecademy. We're in the Sizing Elements section. This is the last lesson in this section, Review Relative Measurements. It says, great work. You learned how to size elements on a website relative to other elements on the page. Let's review what you learned. Content on a website can be sized relative to the other elements on the page using relative measurements. The unit of M sizes font relative to the font size of a parent element. And this could be the example of a div with multiple paragraph tags inside of it. The div can be given a font size of 16, and the paragraphs can be given an M size of 2, which would give it double the size of the div. So if it's 16, the paragraphs would have a font size of 32 if given a 2M, because it is based on that parent element. Versus the unit of rem, it says the unit of rem sizes font relative to the font size of a root element. The root element is the HTML element. So this one would go based on the root element font size. So we would have to set the HTML to a certain font size, like 16, and then anything that had a rem size applied to it would be based on the HTML's font size of 16. Percentages are commonly used to size box model features like the width, height, borders, padding, or margin of an element. When percentages are used to size width and height, child elements will be sized relative to the dimensions of their parent. Remember that parent dimensions must first be set. So if the parent has a width of 300 pixels, let's say this div, if you had something within the div, like a paragraph, and we set its width to 50%, it would be 50% of the parent div, which we said would be 300 pixels. So that width of 50% would be 150 pixels. Percentages can be used to set padding and margin. Horizontal and vertical padding and margin are set relative to the width of a parent element. The minimum and maximum width of elements can be set using min width and max width. The minimum and maximum height of elements can be set using min height and max height. When the height of an image or video is set, then its width can be set to auto, so that the media scales proportionally. Reversing these two properties and values will also achieve the same result. A background image of an HTML element will scale proportionally when its background size property is set to cover. That's how we got that nice background. Relative units of measurement are a first step towards incorporating responsive design in a website. When combined with more advanced responsive techniques, you can create a seamless user experience regardless of a device's screen size. So just go ahead and take some time and experiment with your new knowledge of relative measurements in this style.css. When you're done, proceed to the next unit. So go ahead and just play with this until you feel more comfortable with rem unit, m unit, and how to incorporate it into your page to make it more responsive and seamless. I'll see you guys on the next section. See you guys then.